I never meant to eat it. The thing glowed beneath a crystal dome, humming like a heartbeat trapped in amber. I'd stumbled into that chamber chasing rumors, not fate. But when I saw it, round, pulsing, fragrant with something beyond language, I reached without thinking. The skin cracked under my thumb, sweet liquid dripping onto my gloves. I bit. Juice burst like lightning across my tongue, and the world changed. Alarms didn't blare. Walls didn't close in. No lasers. No sirens. Just silence, and then footsteps. Heavy, rhythmic, measured like judgment itself. She entered wearing silver carved like bone, skin iridescent, eyes blazing with galaxies. Power rolled off her thick as radiation. She was regal, wrathful, and when she saw the half-eaten fruit in my palm, she didn't shout. She smiled. "You have claimed the offering." My throat clenched. Claimed what? She moved closer. Her shadow reached before she did. The sacred gift. Only chosen ones, war-bound suitors may consume it. That fruit binds our bloodlines. Consuming it begins the ritual. I stepped back. I didn't know. I swear, You touched what was forbidden, she said, voice echoing like thunder through marble halls. And now, you must survive what follows. Before I could respond, another presence entered, slender, silent. She moved like broken moonlight, graceful but shattered. Her left side twitched, refusing to obey. One arm dragged slightly, shoulder scarred with etched metal. Her eyes, one silver, one violet, met mine, full of unreadable fire. "This is Anna," the queen announced, "the heir you have unknowingly chosen. She cannot walk the trials. She cannot lift a blade. She is broken." My chest tightened. Then why the ritual? Because the ritual was not meant to test her. The queen's gaze cut through me. "It tests you." Silence crushed the air between us. Anna blinked slowly, then turned her face away as if my presence stung. "She was paralyzed after the Battle of Red Dusk," the queen continued. "No suitor would claim her. None dared tie their lineage to someone they called unwhole. But you, outsider, you bit the offering. And now, whether by ignorance or fate, you are bound to the right." My heart thumped like a war drum. "And if I refuse?" Her smile vanished. "You will die. Not by our hands, but by the ritual's law. Your DNA is already entwined. The fruit begins a molecular fuse. Either you pass the trials, or your body tears itself apart." Anna's eyes flicked toward me again. No pity, just quiet resolve. I felt nausea rise. "What are these trials?" "Pain, memory, loyalty, sacrifice, and lastly, submission." "To what?" "To her." I turned to Anna. Her lips parted slightly, but she said nothing. Only her eyes screamed volumes I couldn't decode. This wasn't a mating game. This was a crucible. The queen stepped forward, placing a crystalline shard against my chest. It embedded itself instantly. No blood, no resistance. Just warmth. It pulsed in sync with my heart. "The rite begins at dawn. Tonight you rest. Tomorrow you bleed." Then she vanished, robes trailing like smoke. Only Anna and I remained. I tried to speak. She raised a trembling hand. "You didn't know," she whispered, voice cracked from disuse. "But that doesn't change what you did. I didn't mean to claim you. Doesn't matter. You did." Silence stretched between us. "I was a soldier," I said finally. "I've seen war. I've seen death. But I've never seen anything like this." She tilted her head. "You've never seen a people so bound to ritual?" "No. I've never seen someone so calm when told they're the prize in a game they didn't ask for." A ghost of a smirk touched her lips. I was born for games like these. I just lost the ability to play. My chest ached. Then I'll play for both of us. She stared at me. For a moment, the fire in her gaze flickered. Less fury, more something softer. But she said nothing. When she turned and vanished down a glowing corridor, I stood alone. The taste of the forbidden fruit still on my tongue, and the shadow of something much larger than desire wrapping itself around my fate. I didn't sleep. The chamber they gave me was more prison than sanctuary. Walls breathing with bioluminescent veins, floors humming underfoot, air thick with floral dust that clung to skin like a lover's scent. Outside, stars pulsed violet, through obsidian skylights, mocking me with their detachment. When dawn broke, a drone hummed above my head, releasing mist that seeped into my pores. Every joint buzzed with unnatural energy. My muscles felt rewired. Anna stood across the arena's edge when I arrived, perched inside a floating cradle shaped like a half-moon, her paralyzed frame upright through invisible force fields. Her gaze followed me with the quiet judgment of someone who had nothing left to gamble, yet still watched every hand. No crowd, no drums, no ceremony, only her and the queen. She floated downward upon a circular platform, arms crossed, crown of thorns carved from meteor shards coiling above her. Her voice shook the ground. William, you who dared taste the offering, face your first proving. From the mist, something crawled into view. Metal bones, fluid joints, no eyes. Its breath steamed in rhythmic bursts and its limbs bent in unnatural arcs. Blades hissed from forearms like unfolding wings. A neural shade, the queen said, forged from forgotten minds. It mirrors what you hide. I backed away instinctively. You want me to fight that? It is not real, she said. But what it becomes is entirely up to your guilt. Before I could respond, it lunged. I dodged left, rolling under a slashing arm, landing hard. The creature shifted, its limbs elongating, face twisting until it resembled something familiar. Me, or rather the version of me who left a squad behind on Techron 9. Coward, it whispered. The blade came down. I barely blocked with a stray pole, electricity rippling through my bones. I gritted my teeth, forcing the memory back. I had to leave them. They ordered me to retreat. I didn't choose it, but guilt doesn't respect logic. The shade grew larger. Anna's voice pierced the chaos, surprisingly sharp. Don't fight it. Accept it, I faltered. What? Rituals here don't reward denial. They demand truth. The shade struck again, this time knocking me flat. Blood filled my mouth. My own face loomed above, smirking with contempt. I closed my eyes. I left them. And I never forgave myself. The moment the thought crystallized, the shade froze, cracked, then shattered like ash in moonlight. Silence returned. I stood, shaking, breath ragged. Anna said nothing, but her eyes met mine differently. Still guarded, but no longer unreadable. The queen descended again. You've passed the trial of reflection. Few do. I didn't feel victorious, just exposed. She waved a hand, and part of the floor slid open. From the abyss rose a pedestal bearing a slender vial. Inside, swirling stardust shimmered, the bond elixir. Phase 1. You must take it to survive the next stage. I looked at Anna. What does it do? Her voice was quiet. It links your pain to mine. So if you suffer, I feel it. I hesitated. Why? To test your commitment. Without another word, I took the vial, downed it. Fire laced my veins, not hot, intimate. A searing thread connected us instantly. I felt her breath, slow and trembling. She flinched. Barely. But I knew. My heartbeat now echoed through her chest. The queen smiled. Tomorrow, your next ordeal begins. But for now, feel the burden you chose. The arena vanished beneath my feet. I found myself back in that glowing, Chamber, no idea how. Anna hovered near, her cradle humming softly. We didn't speak for a long while. Then she whispered, "That thing, it knew your guilt." I nodded. "Yeah. Yet you stood anyway." I looked at her. "You watched me." I couldn't afford to fall. A soft flicker passed through her eyes, like a candle behind frosted glass. "You don't know what the next phase is," she said, voice hushed. "No," I replied, "but I'm not leaving. Even if I'm not the warrior you expected, you are more than they can see, and I don't care what they expected. I'm here for you." She looked away, but her lip trembled. The bond shimmered between us, invisible but undeniable. For the first time since I bit into that forbidden fruit, I felt something beyond dread, hope. I awoke to the sound of dripping, not water, not rain, something thicker, slower. It splashed onto leaves above my head, seeping into soil that breathed beneath my boots. The Sky Garden. That's what the Queen called it when she appeared through. Living vines, her form draped in translucent silk that shifted with color and emotion. No words. She pointed toward the crimson trail curling through the undergrowth. The trial of trust had begun. I walked alone. No weapons, no armor. Just the bond inside me and Anna's pulse echoing faintly through my ribs. Each step sent a whisper of sensation between us. Fear, uncertainty, but also something new. She was watching, feeling, waiting. Thorns reached for my skin, not to pierce but to taste. Every root shimmered with awareness. The garden judged. A figure stepped forward, tall, bronze-skinned, draped in obsidian cloth. No face. It raised a eye, curved blade, and pointed toward a writhing creature trapped inside a transparent cocoon. It looked human. Except its eyes blinked sideways. Limbs shifted unnaturally. Breathing rapid, desperate. A girl, young, shivering. "She lives," the figure spoke, voice layered like wind over a canyon. "Cut her free, and the garden feasts upon your bond. Continue forward, and she dies forgotten. Trust. Choose who you serve." I stared at the cocoon. The girl looked at me, eyes pleading. My fingers twitched. Pain surged through my chest. Anna's panic. "No!" Her voice echoed inside my skull. "Don't touch her!" "Why?" "She's not real. The garden forges illusions. They pull from memory, instinct, guilt. Save her, and you sever us." My hands trembled. The figure raised its blade again. The girl sobbed now. "Please! I'm cold!" Anna's voice cracked. "They did this to test your loyalty. I know how cruel it gets, but I need you. Don't leave me alone again." "Again?" I whispered. She didn't answer. I turned from the cocoon, walked forward, each step heavier than the last. The girl screamed. Her voice shifted, deeper, darker, not human. Insects poured from the membrane, and the illusion collapsed into dust. The faceless guardian bowed once and disappeared into mist. I didn't feel triumphant, just emptied. The path opened into a clearing ringed by hovering stones. In the center, Anna, not in her cradle. Standing, moving. I rushed forward, stunned. "How?" "This isn't real," she said quietly. "They're testing both of us now." "Why you?" "To see if I'd walk toward you, or let you fail alone." I reached out. My hand passed through her. The sky turned black. Flames fell like rain, and her image burned away, screaming. Then, silence. The Queen's voice shattered the darkness. "You chose the bond over illusion. You endured deceit, resisted instinct. The garden yields." I gasped, dropped to my knees. When I looked up, I was in Anna's chamber. She sat in her hover chair, body slumped, exhausted. "You passed. You felt all that?" I asked. "Yes. I watched you die. It tore me apart. She looked down. Now imagine that sensation multiplied, daily, living in this body. The guilt hit harder than any weapon. I'll carry that weight if I have to. She met my eyes. Don't carry me. Walk with me. I nodded. Moments later, a new arrival entered, taller than the queen, garbed in scale-like armor that rippled like molten glass. A figure I'd never seen before. No words, just presence. Anna whispered, "Next trial's not physical." "What is it?" The armored figure stepped aside, revealing a glowing urn atop a pedestal. Inside, fractured shards of some pulsating crystal. Anna inhaled sharply. "The trial of memory." "What do I do?" "Touch it, and surrender one part of yourself, forever. A memory, a truth, something you can't retrieve." I looked at the urn. "Which memory?" I asked. Anna blinked. "It chooses." I reached forward. As my fingers brushed the rim, I felt it pull, not from my flesh, but from my mind. Images rushed forward. My mother's smile, my first battlefield, my brother's laugh, the rain-soaked day I buried him. And then, stopped. The bye. Crystal began feeding on her image. Anna's face, the first moment I saw her, the silver eye, the trembling fingers, the cracked voice, the spark I didn't understand. "No!" I yanked back, but the bond had already offered her memory. Tears burned my eyes. Anna watched me, horrified. You let it take me?" "I didn't know. I told you, memories fuel the next rite. If you lose me, then I'm nothing to your heart." I staggered backward. "I'll fight. I'll find it again." She looked away. "You'd better, or you'll lose this trial, and me." I couldn't sleep. The memory was gone. The moment. Her silver eyes meeting mine for the first time. The quiet awe. The impossible pull. All of it, stolen by that cursed crystal. I still remembered her name. Her voice. Her pain. But not the beginning. The queen summoned me at dawn, not to an arena, not to a garden, but to a chamber carved into the spine of a mountain. Ancient machinery lined the walls, rotating rings, dormant cores, dormant war relics. The silence buzzed louder than battle. She stood at its center, back turned. "You broke the bond elixir's integrity," she said. "I didn't mean to. Intentions are dust, choices remain." Her gaze sliced through me. "You'll face the trial of unity," she continued, "but not with her." "What?" Anna entered, carried, not floating, limp, pale. A new tether connected her body to a pulsing orb hanging above her heart. "She risked herself trying to save your memory," the queen said coldly. "It cost her strength. Until she recovers, you must finish the proving, bonded to another." A second figure stepped forward, a warrior, sleek, black skin laced with golden veins, eyes like polished obsidian. She said nothing but radiated danger. Her name echoed from the queen. Zivena. My stomach dropped. Zivena took Anna's place in the ritual bond. Instantly, I felt her emotions. Pure steel. No softness. No fear. She despised this. Anna reached for me weakly. "Don't let it break you." Before I could answer, the floor split apart, swallowing us both. Zivena and I dropped into an underground battlefield. Nothing but sand, jagged bones, and ruins stretching toward infinity. Wind shrieked between ancient towers, and then a storm, not weather, not lightning, memories, thousands of them, not mine, Zivena's. I saw her first kill, her childhood locked in a breeding pit, her escape covered in ash and blood. The moment she cut her own mother's throat to end a generational curse, it hit like fire through the bond. My legs gave out. "Stand up," she hissed. "You're overwhelming. Control it, or we both die." A monstrous shape erupted from the sand, a glimmering serpent made of smoke and thought. It roared, voice laced with forgotten grief. Zivena, charged. I tried to follow, but her memories kept pulling me under. Her pain wasn't like Anna's. It didn't invite connection. It dared me to survive. She fought like a star gone nova, blades spinning from her wrists, feet barely touching ground. Every strike resonated with anger sharpened over decades. I tried to flank the creature. Useless. I was a shadow beside her. Fury. Then I saw it. Her weakness. A small, trembling shape within the storm, hiding beneath wreckage. A boy, her brother, not real. But the storm used him to anchor her rage. "Zivena!" I shouted. "You're feeding it!" Silence. "It's using him. Your bleeding memory. Let me help. Touch me and die." I moved anyway. Placed. My hand on her back just once. The bond surged. I offered stability, not control, balance. For a moment, her breathing slowed. Her heartbeat aligned with mine. She looked at me, stunned. And struck true. The serpent shattered. Silence fell. We stood amidst the wreckage, panting, stunned. She didn't thank me, but her eyes didn't hold hate anymore. Just respect. "You didn't fall," she muttered. I don't know how. The trial chamber dissolved. I awoke in the Queen's throne hall, Anna seated beside her, still pale but conscious. Her eyes locked on Zivena's hand. Still on my shoulder. Jealousy flickered across her expression. Quick, sharp, real. The Queen spoke. "You completed the trial not by dominance, but by balance. Few succeed." She turned to Anna. "Your champion returns, but the bond has shifted." Anna looked at me. "Did you feel her?" I nodded. "She's fire, wrapped in shadow. She would have killed you if you were weak." "She didn't. That means something." Anna hesitated. "What do you feel now?" I opened my mouth, then stopped, because I didn't know. I remembered her voice, her pain, her purpose, but not our spark, and part of me missed Zivena's strength. Anna saw it. Her lips parted, then closed. The Queen grinned. "The final ritual begins at dusk. Prepare your soul, William. One of them will die, and you must choose which." My stomach dropped. "What are you saying?" "One vessel cannot hold two awakened bonds. You'll enter the ritual core with both. Only one survives. You may flee now, or face what your touch began." The ritual core pulsed beneath the palace like a second heart, massive, alive, ancient. Its walls shimmered with symbols that writhed when watched too long. The air, thick, charged, almost liquid, carried the scent of ozone and ash. Anna and Zivena stood on opposite sides of a circular platform, both silent, both cloaked in threads of light from the bond nodes embedded behind their hearts. The Queen sat above, watching from a throne carved from the skull of a fallen world-bringer. "Speak. Now, William," she declared, her voice cutting across the chamber. "Declare your tether. Choose your future. The one you do not claim will perish." The silence cracked like glass. Anna stared at me, lips trembling. "I was yours first. Don't forget that." Zivena didn't plead. She folded her arms, expression unreadable. "I won't beg. That's not who I am." Two women, one soul fractured between them, one I had touched with compassion. The other I had survived beside through fire. My chest tightened. "I need to speak," I said. The Queen raised an eyebrow. "Words will not save them." "No," I replied, "but they may save me." I turned to Anna first. "I remembered you as a light in the dark, someone fragile, wounded, reaching out. Even without our beginning, I know you carried me through more than I deserved, but now, I see your strength. It was never weakness, it was restraint. You chose softness when you could have built walls. I failed you once, I won't again." She blinked, just once. A tear slid down, unhidden. Then I faced Zivena. You were a storm. You forced me to evolve. You didn't ask for help, but still, you let me in, for a heartbeat. You fought beside me, trusted me, even when it nearly killed us. You taught me what strength really looks like when it's stripped bare. And I respect you. Deeply. Her gaze didn't soften, but she nodded. Slight. Sharp. Then I turned toward the Queen. I won't choose. Gasps rang from the gathered advisors. She rose slowly. You would defy the oldest right of our kind? Yes. Then both must be erased. Not if I offer something in return. Speak carefully. I stepped forward, heart thundering. I'll surrender my bond entirely. Erase the connection from both sides. Let them live, free of me. Anna gasped. No, don't. Zivena flinched, barely. The Queen narrowed her eyes. You would burn your own soul? If it means they live? Yes. For a moment, everything was still. Then the chamber dimmed. The throne cracked. The Queen descended, barefoot, eyes glowing with something older than anger, recognition. You remind me of him, she said quietly. Who? My mate. The only man who defied me, who loved without binding. What happened to him? I let him go. And I watched the universe try to become him and fail. She reached toward me. Very well, human. You offer your fire, then prove it. Suddenly the platform split. Anna and Zivena fell backward into twin cradles of light. Their bonds began to unravel, glowing threads pulling free from their chests. Pain lanced my skull as both connections turned inward, fusing, crashing, trying to consume me. Flashes erupted behind my eyes. Anna's laughter, Zivena's scream, her hand in mine, Anna's kiss, the serpent's death. The first time I carried Anna's broken frame across the battlefield, then white, then nothing. When I opened my eyes, I was on the floor, alone. No Anna, no Zivena, just the Queen kneeling beside me. You survived. Where are they? She stood slowly. Free, from you, but not from their paths. I sat up. You let them go? No, she said softly. You did, and in doing so, rewrote the ritual's law. She gestured behind her. Anna entered. No chair. No cords. Walking. Her body still trembled, but she moved on her own, each step defiant. Zivena followed, silent, eyes trained on me. For once, her face held something close to relief. Neither of us will forget you, Anna whispered. But we won't fight over you, Zivena added. I stood, swaying slightly. Where do we go from here? The Queen answered. There's a war coming, across stars, across timelines. I need warriors who understand pain, love, surrender. And you think I qualify, I asked? She smiled. You qualify to lead. We launched at dawn, not with drums or parades, but with silence thick enough to crush bones. The Queen gave me command, not as her subject, but as her equal. An ancient throne forged from meteor ore unfolded beneath my feet, waiting for someone, foolish enough to lead through heart instead of tradition. I accepted. Anna stood beside me, armor laced with blue circuits humming with recovered power. Her eyes were clear now, no longer desperate, just alive. Zivena flanked my left, void blades across her back, face like obsidian carved by purpose. She didn't speak, but her presence said enough. I'd earned her steel, not her affection. That remained with no one. And maybe that was okay. The fleet assembled overhead. 70 ships, each older than Earth's continents, now reactivated by my defiance of the ritual. The Queen watched from her high platform. For once, her eyes held no threat, only memory. You turned my children from vengeance, she said. Let's see what you do with destiny. The stars bent as the worm gate opened. The enemy waited beyond. A hive armada called the Nullmire, void eaters, truth strippers, parasitic thought machines that fed on bonds, devoured connection, reduced entire civilizations to husks without memory. They had no faces, no names, just hunger. We arrived just as they breached the last outer moon. Our fleet curved into formation, crimson vectors spiraling, fractal shields pulsing with encoded emotion. The Queen scientists said their only weakness was human chaos, emotion, wildness, the thing their order couldn't process. So I gave it to them. I screamed through the comms, "Let your pain sing, let your memories ignite, burn loud enough to shake them." Anna launched first. Her ship dove straight through a Nullmire carrier, unleashing sonic shards made of her childhood lullabies. The enemy cracked, writhed. Zivena struck next, her vessel shedding its outer shell mid-flight, revealing a harpoon system powered by her personal rage. It tore through their leader, a thought cone of pure data, like it was made of mist. I followed, not as a tactician, not as a soldier, as something else. I merged with the bond engine, an illegal device the Queen had hidden for centuries, now unlocked by my unique imprint. It wasn't technology, it was raw feeling, and it broadcast everything, my fear, my love, my failure, my longing. It turned into weapons. I remembered my mother's hands when I was sick, my brother's final laugh before the crash, Anna's voice calling my name when I forgot it, Zivena's pulse as we fought back to back against the serpent storm. Each memory became a flare, each pain, a spear, each hope, a shield. The Nullmire shrieked as they absorbed it. Too much humanity. Too unstructured to file, too vivid to consume. They faltered, but they didn't fall. Anna's ship was struck, veering, trailing smoke. Zivena vanished beneath a hail of mental razors. I pushed harder, opened the bond engine fully. The Queen's voice came through, "That much input will kill you." Then let me die honest. I opened everything, showed the enemy my guilt, my desires. The night I almost gave up. The hour I first wanted Anna. The second I almost kissed Zivena, even while she hated me. The look in the Queen's eyes that wasn't fury, but mourning. And then silence. The Nullmire collapsed inward, imploding from within, unable to withstand the torrent of authentic chaos. They blinked out of reality. Gone. I woke in the Queen's temple, my body broken, but my soul lighter. Anna stood over me, holding a broken shard of the bond engine. Zivena sat in the corner, bandaged, arms crossed. "You're alive," Anna whispered. "Am I?" Zivena answered flatly. "Barely." The Queen entered. No crown. No armor. "I've dismantled the ritual permanently," she said, "because you proved it flawed." I tried to speak, but my voice cracked. "Rest," Anna said, brushing my cheek. "The stars aren't going anywhere." Zivena rose. "You bought us time. That's all we ever needed." The Queen extended her hand. "You changed us, not through power, but sacrifice. That is how empires should begin." I didn't take her hand. Instead, I took Anna's and nodded once toward Zivena. We stepped outside. The twin suns rose, soft and golden. 1,000 banners unfurled behind us, not in tribute to a king but to something greater. Unity born from defiance. The war was over, for now. But our story had just begun.